Boo. What's up guys, my name is Jaku Jonesu and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be continuing with our third installment of the 4 creepy Japanese folktales for the Halloween season. If you haven't watched the first 2 episodes yet, I'm going to put the link to those in the description so you can catch the fuck up on that. Today's installment is going to be about the snake woman yokai Kiyohime. If you're wondering why every spooky Japanese story so far has been about women, it's just because there's an abundance of vengeful woman spirits in Japanese folklore. Before I dig that hole any deeper, let's get into the story. Make sure to stick around at the end because I'm going to be talking more about Kiyohime. At the time of Emperor Daigo lived a handsome young priest named Anchin. Every year he would go on a pilgrimage from Mutsu to Kumano. On the way, Anchin would rest at the manor of Masago no Shoji, which was located along the banks of the Hidaka River. Now, Masago no Shoji had a young daughter named Kiyo. Over the years, Kiyo fell in love with the attractive Anchin and believed he liked her as well. Kiyo was a lively young girl. Unfortunately, she also liked to cause trouble around the manor. So Anchin tried to convince her to behave by telling her jokingly that if she behaved, then he would marry her, and she could return home with him to Mutsu. Although to Anchin it was just a joke, Kiyo took it seriously. She was very obedient while he was gone, eagerly awaiting his coming each year. The year she became of marriageable age, as Anchin was on his way to Kumano, Kiyo reminded Anchin of what he had promised her. Anchin was embarrassed that she had taken his joke seriously. He lied, telling Kiyo that he would indeed marry her when he returned from Kumano. But on his return to Mutsu, he decided to go around the manor instead, avoiding the young girl still waiting for him. When Kiyo heard the news that the priest was not stopping at their manor, she realized that Anchin had lied to her. Full of sadness at his betrayal, she ran out of the house, not even bothering to put on her shoes. She ran after him down the road towards the Dojiji temple. Anchin, seeing her catch up, asked the boatman Chikanobu to help him cross the swollen Hidaka River. He then requested that the boatman not help Kiyo cross. Anchin was relieved after reaching the far shore, believing that he had finally escaped from Kiyo's pursuit. However, it was too soon for Anchin to relax. Kiyo, full of grief and anger at the priest's lies, dove straight into the Hidaka River. As she was tossed by the waves, her body transformed into a giant serpent, or dragon. With her new form, she easily crossed the raging torrent and continued to chase after Anchin, all the way to the Dojoji temple. The priests at Dojoji, seeing the transformed Kiyohime, hid Anchin beneath the large bronze Bansho bell. But not even the metal of the bell could stop her. Kiyohime twisted her long body around the bell and began to breathe fire. Her fury became an incandescent heat hot enough to melt the bell's metal. As the heat rose, Anchin hiding inside was roasted to death. Although Kiyohime's vengeance was complete, her heart was empty, as she had killed the man she loved. She dove into the Hidaka River, drowning herself to follow him, even in death. Ladies, no Anchin is worth it. If he's gonna play games, then there's other guys out there who won't make you turn into a dragon. So Kiyohime's name is actually kind of interesting. The kanji for Kiyo is pure or clean, and Hime is princess or noblewoman. I'm not sure what the significance of her name being Kiyo is because, like the story says, she was actually kind of a troublemaker. Maybe the name is to show her purity when compared to the douchebaggery of Anchin. In some other tellings of the story, Anchin actually appears to the monk from the story in a dream many years later as a serpent as well. He asks the monk to deliver both he and Kiyo's souls so they can both be at rest. So he does, and it's a happy-ish ending. It all really depends on how you want to tell it. This particular story is actually old as fuck. About 1,000 years old to be exact. It was actually first recorded in 1040 in the Honcho Hokke Reigenki, or the Tales of the Lotus, which was a collection of Buddhist miracle stories. It was then recorded in the Konjaku Monogatari-shu in about 1140 in the Heian era. It then found wild popularity throughout the entirety of Japan as a Noh play called Dojoji, which is a reference to the name of the temple from Kiyohime's story. And from the popularity it received from the Noh play, it was also then turned into a kabuki play as well. Like most folktales, there's a bunch of variations in the tellings of the story depending on where you find it. I just found this version on yokaistreet.com and I really liked it. So shout out to yokaistreet.com. If you liked this video, feel free to tatake that like and subscribe button. Come talk to me in the comments and tell me what you're doing for your quarantine Halloween this year. Finally, keep an eye out for the last spooky Japanese story that I'm gonna drop either on the night of the 30th or the morning of the 31st. Gokigenyo!